Can I switch gears a little bit to trauma?
Yeah.
Since we're hanging out here at the EMDR conference.
We are hanging out here at the EMDR conference.
In Philadelphia. So you've been working as a trauma focused clinician for years. You've been writing about trauma.
Which is how you initially stalked me, if I recall, from reading Trauma in the 12 Steps.
Correct. That was where the stalking began.
Yes.
And
that's a badge of honor in our community. It's not a pejorative term.
No, not at all. Especially when it doesn't traumatize us.
It's networking.
It's another word for networking.
Trauma-free stalking.
That's
it's
right.
Networking.
So, Bessel van der Kolk talks about movement being so important,
right?
To trauma recovery. At Refuge Recovery, we're obsessed. Noah and myself and others who are involved at Refuge Recovery, it's like we have to have movement. We have to have them moving around. So, can you just talk a little bit about that? Just the relationship between what Dancing Mindfulness is providing and what it provides trauma recovery.
Sure. So, trauma in the body, my basic connection I've always seen is unhealed trauma can cause such stagnation of energy in the body. Body keeps the score, that whole logic. I agree with that. Body bears the burden in all the books of similar title. And the way to move stagnation is, in my view, always been literally to move. And that's not to say that people can't experience triggering and being upset from moving when they've been in a state of stillness so long. And I don't even think that's unique to trauma. People with addiction issues as well are so cut off from the body, but you and I both know about the interaction there. So one of the things we really cover within Dancing Mindfulness, especially training facilitators, is how to work with gently integrating movement. Because I think if it is integrated too abruptly, too suddenly, that's where you could see a lot of people shut right back down again and not want to give it a try.
Well, I know that there's a lot of work that has been done over the last few years around trauma-focused or trauma-informed yoga. So are the interventions or the way that you go about it with Dancing Mindfulness facilitation, is it the same type of?
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities because I did a lot of reading of David Emerson and his work in that area as I prepared Dancing Mindfulness. And to me, the biggest common sense points that we focus on is you don't make people close their eyes. Like, I get crazy when I hear yoga or meditation teachers automatically going into that, let's close our eyes.
No, let's not.
And I learned that mistake as a young clinician, teaching breath work to a client that way, and she was honest with me and said that made me claustrophobic. I did not like that. And from that moment, I always have offered people the option. Another big common sense intervention we do is the line, opting out is always an option, which is a line I heard from a drum circle teacher at one point. And it's that idea of no forced participation, no forced intimacy. We encourage people who attend classes and practices to communicate with their facilitator, especially after class, if something came up that wasn't comfortable or wasn't appropriate. And we do try to adjust and modify wherever we can. Part of what makes Dancing Mindfulness a little different than yoga is we encourage a dance. A lot of people would look at it as interpretive or free form. I've always said it's just responsive to where your body's at the time, to where the music's at the time. So we're not necessarily teaching precise poses, but I do run over with my facilitators in the training. If you are going to use yoga poses in your warm-ups, here are some ones you may want to avoid. And here are some ones that are generally safest for the most.